So another loop-de-loop in the Bill Belichick white-knuckle wooden roller coaster ride. And if you've not been following along here, possibly not, according to a big, very wordy story, I didn't even count how many words were in this. I mean, it was a very long story. Way too long. But I scanned it. I read the highlights, and then I scanned the rest. So Jordon Hudson, the 24-year-old floozy girlfriend of North Carolina football coach Bill Belichick, who last I checked is 73. Good for him. She has told, according to the New York Times, that's still in business, she has told at least one person that she is now engaged. Say what? Yeah. That's the report. Now, there's a separate report from some podcast guy named Pablo Torre or whatever. I don't even know who the guy is. Anyway, he says that, no, at least in March, that's not true. Of course, now it's May, so things change. So we're going to go with the report that says, yeah, she's told someone. There was that ring thing that she was wearing. So, okay. Time to unravel the mystery of it all. So the question, let's assume that the story that she's telling people, at least somebody that she got engaged, so let's assume that to be the position. So, who benefits more? Who benefits more from the alleged engagement? Is that Bill Belichick on one side or Jordon Hudson on the other? So I've got whaling ship, clothing manufacturer, and Buzz Lightyear. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make the gabagool. We're going to make the gabagool is what we're going to make. All right, so to kick off the diatribe, this would be, for Bill Belichick, a lot of fun, right? He's obviously enjoying himself. I mean, he's attracted to her. Obviously, he's with her. So he's in it for the good time, right? Now, for her, though, clearly the crowning achievement, the ultimate flex. Jordon, from what I've read, and I read these tabloids every day, I'm obsessed with this story. She has been on the prowl for several years. Just a small-town girl from Maine on the prowl, the relentless pursuit of the meal ticket. And she didn't just get a meal ticket. She's about to get the whole restaurant and a chain of restaurants. That's not just a meal ticket, Bill Belichick. That's an entire bleeping chain of restaurants. And she can remake that 1950s classic Hollywood film that Marilyn Monroe was in, How to Marry a Millionaire. She can be in it, right? She's at the 1-yard line, first and goal to go. And as we learned in a Patriots Super Bowl, if you're the other team, you don't want to throw a pass. You do not want to throw a pass. You ground and pound. You hammer the ball into the end zone. You do not throw a pass in that situation. Now, Jordon, the floozy lady friend, it would appear, based on the outline of the relationship here, this is a quid pro quo situation. That she isn't going to be able to mooch off the Belichick money train. Choo-choo! And then in exchange, Belichick gets access to her magical cookies, we'll call them. Okay, magical cookies. And so there you go. The girl from Maine, cheerleader from Maine, wannabe beauty queen, and advocate for fishing. So imagine, if you will, a world where she's the captain of a whaling ship out there on the Atlantic Ocean, hunting for the elusive white whale, Moby Dick. And she couldn't find Moby Dick, but she did find Belichick, you know what. So she found that. Shiver me timbers! Right? There's gold in them hills there. Yeah, or something like that. The pirate lingo. So she has been chasing the unattainable goal. And she's right there. She can, just an inch away. And this is something, there are so many gold diggers out there, but this is something most gold diggers never get to. They never reach the upper echelon of gold digging. Like, this is the dream, man. This is it right here. Bill Belichick, 73 years old, filthy rich. And, yeah, that's where it's at. All right, now, furthermore, I was thinking about this when I was driving in here, long drive into the studio. So I was thinking, if this is true, and it's heading that direction based on the tabloid reports, so does Bill Belichick's personal life, does this now overshadow all of his successes with the Patriots and all those Super Bowls and all that stuff, the mythology of Bill Belichick? And if you look at the Doppler radar on this one, it's all over the map. Like, this is the story. Now, we're doing the show today, and right now, today, this is what everyone's yapping about. And it's a mix of foggy conditions, and there's a whole lot of smoke. There's a whole lot of smoke there, and it in this moment, absolutely, right? That would be the legacy up in smoke. At least a lot of it. A lot of it. It's like a wildfire. It doesn't burn the entire forest, but it burns a lot of the forest. You know, there's a lot of it burns, and he has to grow back. The public persona of Bill Belichick, on to Cincinnati, and all that crap. And at this point, it's like a clothing manufacturer. When people think of Bill Belichick, they don't think of the Super Bowl wins. Right now, today, in this moment, they think of the clothing manufacturer, The Gap, as in the age gap, right? Literally and figuratively, the only story that pops up. There are thousands and thousands of stories about this, and it is a spectacle. Now, I would say at this point, you'd have to be an absolute ding-dong to think that they're not both fully aware of this and they're okay with it, right? They're cool with it, and they're consenting adults, whatever. I'm still fascinated by it, right? They're in the public eye, and there's a lot of people that are uncomfortable with this, and they're freaking out and all that stuff. And the fact that Belichick has allowed her, she must be amazing in the sack, right? Because Belichick has allowed her to get her claws into places he would never. He's had girlfriends and he was married for a while. They were never as involved in this as she appears to be. That is wild to me. Like, her claws are all over this. Man, she's involved in the North Carolina football decision-making. Despite the school denying it, many are convinced that she doesn't. We know she doesn't hold an official role, but she's sleeping with the coach, so she's got access to stuff. And man, on some level, I have to give a tip of the headphones to this woman. She's 24, and she's just going for it, dude. I mean, she's got big balls. She does. I mean, let's call it like it is here. That's a lot of chutzpah to slide right in there and just take over Belichick's life. It's one thing to be the sugar baby or whatever and have a good time, but this is like, wow. And she's also got the internal email thing. That story's been out there with North Carolina and social media. She's like the liaison with Belichick on social media. And then you've got the whole hullabaloo with the documentary with NFL Films that was a thing, and then it wasn't a thing, and then that got KO'd, and then what really happened. And from what I read, Jordon Hudson demanded content approval. Final edit. Can you imagine? Who has final edit? I got a TV show the last couple of years. I didn't even have final edit on that. Like, how do you get final edit? Anyway, so she was going to be involved in all that, and she wanted like partial ownership of the show. And imagine what the reaction must have been at NFL Films there in Jersey. Like, that must have been just outstanding. So you're telling me this 24-year-old woman we've never heard of, she's like a cheerleader chick from Maine, and she wants to like control this documentary and have final edit. Okay. That is a humdinger. That is a humdinger of a story. It is. And she's been shopping around other projects and whatnot. She's hustling. She's trying to get that money. But wait, there's more, as every great infomercial says. But wait, there's more. So last thing here. So what is your take on the latest revelation that Bill Belichick, at this point just girlfriend, not engaged, at least it hasn't been announced. So what is your take on Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordon Hudson, filing trademarks for multiple Bill Belichick catchphrases? What? Yes. So apparently this woman's been, I guess it was in April, which is last month. She filed 14 trademarks for Bill Belichick-related phrases. So she, in this scene in the play, she is acting like the robot ranger from Buzz Lightyear, Star Command. And she has, right now, she's spotted a get-rich-quick scheme. And her eyes are, they call them wingdings, the dollar signs on the eye. Every good cartoon, the eyeballs, they get big and they see the dollar sign. That's, in my head, that's what's going on. In my head, right? Among the catchphrases, no days off. Do your job. Ignore the noise. And put that on merch. And then all of a sudden, the song will be played. Money, money, money. Just like that. Make it rain. She even trademarked Chapel Bill. Not Chapel Hill, Chapel Bill. Very confident that this is going to be an amazing success, that North Carolina football will be relevant. It will matter. And, okay, good deal. There you go. Better get that stuff made before the tariffs kick in so you can get them for pennies on the dollar. Who wouldn't want a nice Carolina blue hoodie that says, I don't know, did she get Gold Digger? Did she get that trademark? Probably not. No. What she should put on there is a silhouette of her, and then the phrase, her most famous phrase is, we're not talking about this. Remember she told CBS, we're not talking about this.